That's a really tough one. Nobody likes to lose, and it's not something you can ever get used to. We've been very fortunate in the past. Obviously, regular season-wise, the last couple of years. But nonetheless, this is an incredible learning experience. This is a growing time and an opportunity for us as a team as we continue to find out and figure out and develop who us really looks like. So I don't want those guys and myself or any of these coaches to hang their heads. I thought we found out a lot about ourselves, about our fight and our toughness. We just didn't get it done. We didn't play well enough on both sides of the ball to get the job done in a tough environment and against a really good football team. So, but this is how you figure out who you really are.
What did you think of Ben Bryant's effort this Saturday?
I thought Ben did a good job. I mean, he took some shots too, and I thought all in all those guys. It's first games were tough, as we know. They played, I think, a different defense than what we maybe kind of prepared a little bit more for. They went to a lot more four down, so I think for those guys in general have to adjust and adapt. They did a really good job, I thought, second half wise in making some of those adjustments. But I thought Ben was really poised. I thought he was really under control. Obviously there's the big turnover early in the first half on the drive, and then the strip sack. But he took some shots and kept ticking. And I tell you, there's going to be a great connection with that crew.
You mentioned turnovers, a couple penalties too on that drive where you guys got the fumble. Is that what's kind of sticking in your head right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that we got to do a lot better. You aren't going to go down to a place like this and a team like this and have some of those penalties and missed field goals and ding them off the upright and that momentum and that energy, especially with a young team. To me, that's probably what I'm as proud of. Trying to find the positives that things didn't work well in the first half. You missed 2 field goals, you have a turnover like that, and there was no hanging their heads. I thought in the halftime they were really poised. They knew they were going to come out swinging, and they did. Just not enough to get it done.
Well, would you credit those penalties to just the environment?
No, I mean, yeah, it's first games. It's new, new guys, and the environment too. I mean, we had 2 false starts as we got the ball, get a turnover on the 4-yard line, and we end up, probably losing 25 yards or something on that set. So it's a combination. It's a combination of aggressive defense too. Got to give them credit, but that's where the execution has got to be on the road, especially. You just got to be a lot better.
Is there an encouraging side to that? It wasn't like you guys got pushed off the ball?
No. There's. I mean, we knew coming in here both sides of the ball there was going to be challenges. And defensively, the big plays that we've been so good on not giving them up, and we gave up too many big plays today. And, lost leverages and things like that. And guys being aggressive. There wasn't a lack of effort by any means. It wasn't. But there's a lot of things that they do with some of the jet motions and things that gave us a little bit of problems. And as the ball started to move, I don't think we probably handled maybe the tempo of those things as well. So a lot of things we're going to get a lot better of. This is going to be a team that's going to be much different as it continues to move forward.
Any idea what happened with Ryan Montgomery, and do you like how the guy stepped up in his absence?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of said that it was going to be interesting to see how the running back situation was going to go. And Ryan was our starter. It might have been the first series. I don't know if it was a rib or an ab muscle oblique or something. He tried to go back in here, tried to get it worked on, and never quite make it back out, which is our dynamic punt returner as well. He's been a punt returner for 4 years. So we took some shots there. We had some guys go down, but the rest of the guys stepped up. Charles McClellan did a great job. And Corey Kiner, I thought, really ran the ball physical and hard. I think we got a good stable of those guys. We're going to see a lot more.
What do you think of the offensive line? Obviously, a little bit of shifting with Renfro out.
Yeah, it was a strong point of ours. I thought that those guys did a good job. I mean, obviously you got to go back and evaluate it. I thought the thing that them switching up, playing a little bit more 4 down, and we prepared probably a little bit more for 3 down. I thought it was a big change for those guys. But I thought all in all they did a good job. The big shots on Ben and the sack late. The things that just kind of stand out to you. But it's going to be a physical game, and we're going to rely upon those guys, and we're going to get better. We'll be a lot better.
You seemed unhappy on the penalty on the screen call. Do you remember exactly what that was, or what you were looking at?
Probably shouldn't talk about that, but it is what it is. You got to be able to overcome, things like that, and that's where I think the youth of us just didn't get it done. Overcoming the missed field goals, overcoming a big play like that where it's a difference maker, but you got to be able to overcome it.
KJ Jefferson is such a dynamic player. What was your plan against him today?
Well, again, I didn't think he would run the ball as much as he did. I thought that going into this year, they would be a little bit more him slinging the ball around and relying on the running backs, but he's a dynamic runner as well. I mean, it makes it difficult to prepare for. It's not the speed, outside things, which obviously he's good at, but it's just the physicality. It was a big play down there on third down with 4 minutes to go in the game. That to me is probably the difference maker in the game. You should have two guys that are there to kind of maybe try to wrestle him down, and he makes a big play. Players make plays. He is a really good football player. That's it's going to be hard to deal with.
What about defensively? Shep, Taj, second team D line, some of those guys that you were unsure of coming into the year just because they had to play.
We still got to watch, but I think that and to see those guys rolling in there on game one is impressive. I mean, to see Dante Corleone and Justin Lockley and Noah Potter, and I mean, all those guys getting a lot of reps. It's going to vote well for us. It didn't work today, but I think that it's a process, and we'll be a lot better.
I feel like everybody was talking about it upstairs and also online, but what was going on with the helmets today? Everyone's helmets coming off.
I don't know. Maybe if you don't hit as much in practice, you take those beanies off the top of your helmets, and all of a sudden, things start popping. I don't know. It's an issue that we've got to figure it out. We obviously lost Ben for a play there that Evan came in and they asked, "Do you want a timeout to buy him back in?" I said, "No. You ever seen this guy play? He's going to be really good too." And we went in there, did a great job, but in some critical situations, it's a factor, and those are part of game ones. We got to figure some things out too.
You mentioned, obviously, talk about the quarterbacks a whole lot. What was it about Ben that made you pull the trigger and say this is going to be our guy?
I think it's the makeup of the team too. There's a lot of things that go into it. The maturity, some of the experience. It wasn't an easy call. It really wasn't. But I thought that we had to move forward, and kind of figuring out how us was going to look offensively. Because it would be a little bit different with Evan in there. And so it wasn't any one thing. It wasn't like he did this perfect. But I think the all in all, the makeup of the team and his maturity and his some of the experiences that he's had, I thought gave him probably the leg up for us.
You mentioned the performance from the defensive side. Could you just talk about Ivan Paces today with his performance, leading the team with 12 tackles, 3 tackles for loss?
He's an aggressive football player, and we had to move him around a little bit. He hadn't played much Mike, and Will Huber went down early. We had to bump him over to Mike, so I give him a lot of credit. He's a football guy, really good instincts. There's some things we got to do better. Obviously, we got to get some edges and some things like that. But we're gonna find ways to keep moving him around and give him opportunities to be aggressive and make plays.
One more for Coach.
You talked about this new group is going to face adversity at some point. What did you, initial, whether it was in the locker room or throughout the game, what did you think, and what are you looking forward to?
I was hoping it wasn't this kind of adversity when the ultimate adversity where you got to handle a loss, because that's the ultimate punch. And but I that's what I'd say I'm proudest about, really. When you come in there, whether it's halftime or after the game, they could tell, they knew they fought, and they're disappointed, they're hurting, you can tell, but I think all in all that they understand what getting punched really feels like now. Not that we haven't. I mean, we've been beat the last couple of years and been punched in the face, but I think when it's a different situation like this early in the season where you've worked so hard, prepared so hard, it's a little something different. And I think the maturity showed, and I wasn't sure how it would look. I didn't want to see it, but I'm happy with what I saw.
Thank you, Coach.